I'm representing Norway, which is a developed country in Europe.
I am representing Cambodia, an underdeveloped country in Southeast Asia.
I'm representing Greece, a developed country in Europe.
I'm representing Brazil, which is a developing country in South America.
I'm representing India, a developing country in Asia.
I'm representing South Sudan, another developed country in Africa.
The first point to be discussed is life expectancy. That is how many years an average person lives. And in Brazil, life expectancy is 76 years.
India, 70 years.
South Sudan, 56 years.
And Norway, 83 years.
Cambodia, 69 years.
And Greece, 82 years.
The second point to be discussed is maternal mortality rate. In other words, how many mothers died during labor. In Norway, the maternal mortality rate is 0.03 out of 1,000.
In Cambodia, it is 4.3 out of 1,000.
In Greece, 0.03 per 1,000.
In Brazil, 0.6 out of 1,000.
In India, around 1 out of 1,000.
In South Sudan, about 8 out of 1,000. The third point to be discussed is the infant mortality rate, which in other words is the babies that die in the first period of their life. In South Sudan, the infant mortality rate is 6%.
In Norway, almost no infant mortality.
In Cambodia, it is 0.5%.
In Greece, 0.3%.
In Brazil, 1.3%.
In India, 2.7%.
All right, let's discuss the possible solutions and measures that can be taken until 2030. So, are there any suggestions?
Yes. So in Brazil, access to hospitals is free to anyone legally living in the country. However, this means that waiting lines can be potentially long, especially in areas where facilities are oversubscribed. So more doctors and nurses should be hired in order to prevent people having to wait so long, especially if it's an emergency.
Well, I totally agree with you as this applies to Cambodia because there are not enough doctors and nurses to take care of the people, so they have to wait in really long lines.
Infant deaths can be decreased dramatically through adequate nutrition, clean water, and immunization programs.
What do you mean by that?
They suffer from famine due to lack of food. There is a minimum number of vaccines and hospitals, and most of the water cannot be consumed.
Well, these are some problems that South Sudan faces and a part of Africa in general. And I believe many of us watched some years ago the news that little children were dying from famine. And that's exactly the reason why famous artists collaborated in order to make the song named We Are the World. And there was also a concert in 1985 in order to raise money for the children. Well, that's a way to solve this problem, but another problem is for each country, for each countries and organizations, for instance, UNICEF, to fund poor countries in order for them to enhance their healthcare system and also the hospitals as well.
Another solution I would definitely recommend is for doctors in underdeveloped countries like yours to consult doctors from developed countries like Norway regarding technology, vaccination, and these things.
So let's now talk about our country, Greece, which there is a huge lack of doctors. And so what we need to do is have all specialties in every hospital all over the country, so people wouldn't have to go to Athens for emergency.
In addition, the doctors in Greece, I mean, most of them are underpaid, and this problem demotivates them, and the vast majority of the people studying medicine or some type associated with being a doctor go to other European countries like Germany.
And now, in terms of schools in Greece, we don't really feel safe, as there are no first aid measures. And if something goes wrong, teachers are not trained to help us.
Yes, and moreover, we as students regarding school lessons, we feel like some lessons that we don't find as important should be replaced by other lessons that would be more useful, such as first aids and sex education.
And as the saying goes, no